Take My Breath Away, Berlin, Top Gun, bikes, planes, shades, leather jackets. It's all coming through, okay? I'm sensing like this adventurous spirit, okay? I do think something's coming and it's going to take your breath away. It's going to leave you speechless. Okay, so it's clearly not going to be expected. A surprise, I'm hearing surprise, call surprise into invitation, something along those lines. There is also another message coming through. Someone needs to be really mindful of the conversations they're having. If this is to do with some kind of divine connection, you especially need to be careful. You need to be mindful. Oh my God, just I said that, twin flames at the bottom deck. So maybe you do resonate with that, you know, the really catalytic connection that woken you. Truly, your awakening happened instantaneously. You need to be mindful that you are honouring the sanctity of the connection. And I'm getting this energy, especially if you're connected to somebody who is, and this could be the other way around, who's quite private, you know, they're not easily accessible, they're very, you know, self-protective, and that's their way of protecting themselves, and you're then going to the people talking about your connection, maybe them or whatever. You need to be really mindful, because what you're doing there, you need to understand that you're honouring your connected boundaries as well of your connection. The biggest, most powerful guidance system that you have is your internal guidance system, your connection to divine, and that starts within. If you're somebody who you need to keep going externally for advice or whatever, you need to start asking yourself the question, like, why is that? What is it within you that you can't trust? And this might be the person you connect to. I want to make that clear. Okay. Cardinal, time for things to begin, new beginnings, birthing, leading, ideas, original. Something's beginning. This is what I mean. Something truly is beginning. It's that ignition. It says ignite, ignition, Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. Grounded. Something that someone wants to ground in. But it's got to start off correctly. If that initial ignition, Virgo energies, initial ignition is murky. Isn't from that true space, you know. I'm hearing trusting someone's leadership. So if someone's leadership can't be trusted, if they're constantly going outside externally asking for advice on how to do this, and they're not learning how to go within, their truest answers lay within, especially if you're on a divine connection, then that, I'm telling you, that's going to be a big block, continue to be a big block moving forwards. Someone needs to learn how to communicate, and they need to start learning how to trust their intuition, to connect with it, to connect with the divine. And literally expect the unexpected. This is what I mean. There's that energy, that adventure, the fire, the creativity, there's the impulse, the passion. It's all here. Element of fire. I'm just looking at this person as well. This dancing could be important. Oh, it came out, the Hierophant. Marriage, faith, leaders, tradition. Long-term stability could be on someone's mind here, you know, with whatever it is that's moving forward. This is maybe why you're going to be left a bit speechless. Maybe you're not expecting this. Yeah, okay. So Taurus energy could be significant. This might be something that's been ignited in somebody since springtime. Oh my God, it did come out. Yeah, you definitely... And it's come out with a Justice card. This has been a connection that has massively triggered you into your awakening, both of you. There were karmic cycles that were being continued to loop through. Maybe you didn't even realize it. Maybe you're somebody who, one of you was that person who you have understood the healing journey. Usually it's on the divine feminine that is, you know, more ahead of it. You know, divine feminine, you've been acknowledging that healing journey. You didn't realize that until this person, your divine masculine, came along and triggered something that, you know, that separation, that initial separation is absolute chaos. The breakdown, you feel everything inside you, shows you, you know, people talk about twin flame journeys and they talk about a fairy tale, and that's not what this is. They've not understood twin flame. That's just the conditioned way of thinking about what it is, you know, the trends and whatever. It's not the true journey. Choosing your twin flame is the most courageous thing you can do. It's not the easiest option. Choosing this path is fucking hard. You've got to be brave, but your soul is on, if you're truly on this journey, your soul is on this journey because you can do it. That's what you have within you. You are that one person who can hold that frequency, who can get through that, who can clear out all this Justice energy, Libra season currently. justice energy, to find that divine truth within, to embody that, to embrace that, and to really show it, which is exactly why that message was coming through about who are you talking to. You are the embodiment of divine truth. You need to start going within, truly, and learning how to trust that. Look for the signs, ask for the signs. Yes, sometimes we can create things outside of us, because we're making it, our minds are so powerful. So this is where you gotta learn that surrender. And if you're truly on this beautiful, beautiful, powerful, miraculous connection, this journey, twin flames, 1111, then you're really going to be mirrored to in ways that are inexplainable, and you're truly on that journey, right? Because actually, it's not even to do with your person, it's to do with you and divine. It always comes back to you and divine. Divine is constantly trying to talk to you, constantly trying to get you onto your path of purpose, to be that person, that divine self that you need to be to continue on that path of purpose. And I have to say, these labels are really, especially at the minute, I just can't even, like soulmate, twin flame, blah, 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 blah. There's something deeper within, not just what is told about this. And yeah, of course it can be helpful, especially when you don't know what's going on. There's this huge journey, what is happening. It can truly, truly help you to get that guidance. But be mindful, okay, there's balance coming in, there's divine justice, and it's for this connection. And it's going to be very unexpected. Okay, I'm seeing someone showing up with roses or flowers. Maybe they're significant, maybe you buy them for yourself. Let's find out. This is a moon. This is about silence and secrets. A high priestess. Inner knowing. Can I confirm what I was saying to your inner knowing? The Empress. Your inner divine feminine energy, whichever one you embody as your inner divine feminine energy, is your high priestess energy, your oracle energy. You know that you are naturally so deeply connected to Mother Nature, to all that is Mother in the universe, in the cosmos, whatever. That's you. You need to learn how to trust yourself. You can't keep secrets, so especially when you're truly on this path. This isn't like a normal connection anyway. Any connections, you really should be talking to each other and communicating with each other, not allowing external parties into your business, into your world. Like, you really need to honor the sanctity of the journey that you're on, truly. If you're someone who, if you want someone to trust you, you're going to have to honor the boundaries that they have too, especially when you come into connection. Maybe you are someone who you connect with a lot of other people outside of you, and it's just normal to you to go to others. This is trying to teach you to start to go within. I feel like I'm talking to the divine masculine energy, because they usually go to that 3D energy, right? Divine feminine is normally like trusting her intuition, her flow, her connection to divine. She gets those signs, Again, energy is not genders, but you really need to start honoring what divine is trying to show you. And you're going to have to learn how to trust and honor your person's boundaries too. You're going to have to find that balance. This is your inner yin and yang as well, your inner divine masculine, feminine, your inner union, okay? You have to learn how to trust your intuition. It's such a strong message, it just keeps coming through, okay? So we've got Gemini energies here. So within the next 2 months, something is unfolding. The Sun, Leo energies as well. So vitality, success, creativity again. Again, that creative, adventurous streak is coming through. Communication, it's developing, and that's what's come out with the expect the unexpected. Air signs as well could be important. Mental activity, there's a lot going on in someone's mind right now. They're really thinking about how to move forwards here, truly. But this is how you're talking to yourself as well. This is important, because that's what you're going to learn how to trust yourself. So if you're still playing out a story in your mind where you can't trust yourself, where in the past there's such situations that have happened, are you just replaying the same cogs in the system? Doesn't matter if the faces are different. What is happening within you? Right? Someone might be a bit of an idealist here. They need to be mindful of the rose-tinted glasses, or things going exactly how they want. This is where they need to learn how to release control and the expectation. You're going to have to, this communication is going to be so unexpected that you're going to need to check yourself, and you're going to need to remember to come back to your truth, your divine alignments. Forget what everyone else is telling you. You really need to understand, even if they are specifically for twin flame guidance, doesn't matter. You need to start learning how to go within death. There's been some kind of ending here for this to come through. There had to be some kind of ending, a letting go process, okay? I mean, you would have both completely changed over this, truly, on this journey. Spiritual awakenings would have been, I'm hearing like one after the other, truly. Oh my God. Fire, fire, fire. It's got the Queen of Fire, got the Prince of Fire, okay? So this is literally within the next 7 to 14 days. Leo energies again. It's come out with that Hierophant. So within the next 2 weeks, something is grounding down. And this is a Prince of Fire as well. That's literally within the next month. So something is unraveling over this new month. It's going to be unexpected communication, absolutely. But it's going to offer you a beginning towards something, especially with that Gemini energy. There's a lot of like that mercurial energy coming through, so Mercury. So there's definitely a lot of mental activity happening for somebody right now, quick thinking. But again, they need to be mindful of who... Actually, I'm talking to anyone, yes, it's time. Autumn time is important for this development. They need to, everything we've been saying from the very beginning, make sure you watch it from the beginning. This I feel like it's going to be might be a bit of a long reading. Virgo, the Hermit. So again, earthy energies are coming through strong. Earth, air and fire actually. So solitude, soul searching, enlightenment. This is that internal journey that's been taking place. And I did say something about springtime is really important for this. Maybe even 2024 springtime, something happened and it's really ignited somebody on some kind of true deep inner healing journey here, okay, for them to come through. Don't forget, this is a twin flame journey that we're talking about here that you acknowledge yourself as being on. So that's very specific, okay? It's not that common. So clearly someone's had some serious realizations, especially something about the environment, which is really interesting. Look what's come out. It's really interesting because again, they seem to be turning to their environment to get answers. And again, the constant messages go within. Saturn, the world, duty, cycles, accomplishment, structure, time. That's come out with twin flames. If that isn't the confirmation that you need, that is that journey that you're on, not a fairy tale. It's literally you have such a beautiful purpose together. You're closing and clearing through so much. You are holding and keeping that frequency of that divine love, of divine truth that you are here to embody and truly bring to the earth. And the earth needs you, especially when you know times are the way they are. So Saturn could be important actually. So daddy of karma, right? Capricorn energies. I'm hearing something about your Saturn return might have been important. Maybe that was the time. Oh, again, strength card. Leo energies. Maybe that was the time you met. Maybe. Okay, let's see. Libra, justice energies. I think you've had a lot of shifts. Lots of shifts. Which makes sense. Oh my God. Look at the divine justice coming through. Expansion, Jupiter, the wheel of fortune. Huge turning point, growth. I think this is a massive turning point in your connection, but also on your individual journey. So whatever happens next with this unexpected communication, how you handle it, this is why it's important to be intentional with this. How you handle it is going to mean so much, because this is where you're going to have that opportunity for that growth, that destiny to unfold, that turning point. There's going to need to be truth. Masks off. I just keep hearing that. No more blindfolds. There's been so much unspoken. That silence, remember, that secrets that was coming through. Yes, you have a deeper inner knowing, but you've also understood what it means to accept and realize what is happening in your actual reality. Who is someone choosing to be? What are the choices they're making? But at the same time, there's this understanding of that mirroring energy with this twin flame card. Where are you allowing yourself to tell yourself a repeated story versus what is the truth, which you might not know? Maybe you didn't have that closure. Like I said, that very first separation is literally catastrophic. Like it feels like internal destruction in ways you can't even explain, right? The devil. But it's bringing out the shadow, all of the veils that have still been there. You know, the energy of, oh my God, the King of Fire. Oh God. Yeah, the everything that you've been holding on to, materialism, the restrictions, the addictions, the unhealthy ways of being, right? But that's where things are changing. This is why these Wheel of Fortunes come out. That's beautiful. Divine justice, divine abundance is coming through, and that's what makes sense with this journey. That's what it's opening your path to. But it's being done by showing you your dark, your honestly, your biggest mirror, truly, which means your biggest trigger, disconnection. So you're going to have to acknowledge that and understand that, which means you need to put things in place for you to be able to, both of you, handle and address that, because you clearly want to make this work. There's a reason why this communication is coming through. There's a reason why you're drawn to each other so much. It's time to understand and unravel that, because I think that you've been doing this on a very solo journey so far. Okay. Winter time is important. Again, within next 2 to 4 weeks, so confirmation. This next month is massively important for a total overhaul to take place. Scorpio season as well. Death card, which means there's definitely a transformation. Oh my God. Honestly, I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. So this is you coming, this is a Lovers, Gemini. So truly, I feel like I've just heard this is you coming into that union, but I think that it comes with you literally mirroring each other, showing to each other, reflecting to each other what inner union is. Because where are you still not in a union? Where are you still holding on to the cycles that needed to be cleared out individually, but you showed that to each other, right? So you can't hold those cycles against each other, because actually you needed to show each other, mirror to each other that was taking place, so you could go back to yourself in that separation, clear through it, heal through it. Not to hold that against each other when you come back around, but to understand this is where the honesty, that honest communication is going to need to be clear and transparent. I think that there's a huge fear of intimacy here. The star, miracles coming true. Expect miracles. Miracles are unfolding. The stars are aligning. My God, wow, that's powerful. That means there's been a lot of healing taking place. That would, again, make sense. So this might have been a while, you know, especially if over the past, over a year, I did say 2024 springtime, there's something that happened. That means this separation has been going on for longer than that. Okay. So you've had the opportunity to clear through a lot of cycles. Pretty. God, your purpose here together is powerful then. Individually, yeah, you are. Remember, you're that lighthouse. You're that inner guidance system that the world needs. You're the frequency keeper that the earth is. You're here to hold down those earth grids for. Unique. Yeah, so you have to go learn how to trust yourself. Judgment, Pluto, rebirth. It's coming back around. Rebirth, the resurrection. Total transformation, total renewal. Uranus, the Fool. My God, someone's going to take that leap of faith. It feels so imminent. I can feel it. Like it's not even... You need to breathe. You need to breathe. You need to breathe. I just keep hearing you need to find your groundedness. I'm going to get these ones. You're going to need to find some grounded energies. Actually, no, I'm going to get tarot. To find your center. Because I can already feel like it's like chaotic. Don't allow that. You know, you want to clear through these cycles. There's a reason you're so deeply connected. There's a reason that you're being drawn to each other in such a beautiful way. You know, this is divine. This is a miracle. It's okay to ground into that. I feel like there's a lot of passion here. Impulse can often take charge, so it's okay, you know. Also, I'm hearing something about a lot of messages, so you don't want to do the whole, you know, you're going to need to honor the space that you both need, because there's a lot of, don't forget, divine feminine, you hold such a powerful light that can really trigger the divine masculine, right? Don't forget, who's going to be leading in the connection here, who grounds it down here in the 3D. That's the job of the divine masculine. Divine feminine, you're being leading and grounding it in the, you know, spiritual realms, right? Okay, so I'm getting really hot. So there's definitely something. 3 of Swords is heartbreak, grief. You're going to have to speak on it. Heartbreak, grief. I don't think you've spoken about your true feelings at all. What happened? This is why this resurrection I keep hearing is taking place. So you can find that alignment, partnership, love, openness, love, Ace of Cups. Both of you have an overflowing cup of love within your heart space, overflowing, and for each other. And that doesn't mean you have to be like, oh my God, you know, that telling each other you love each other straight away or whatever. You know, oh my God, again, the Ace of Cups. It's not about that. It's about honouring the sanctity. I keep saying this, honouring the sanctity of sacred union. Honouring your connection. This isn't jumping a 0 to 100, just saying, okay, let's clear through this so we can forge ahead, you know, in alignment, which takes intention and work, right? And if that scares someone, then they're not ready. Ace of Wands, passion and love, and oh my God, beautiful. Because it shouldn't scare someone. Again, your independence is important, your freedom, your ability to hold it down within yourself. Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Someone's learning. They're slowly but surely finding that grounded energy to pursue this. Yeah, it takes them a while to honour their emotions even, to understand their emotions. But again, that grounded energy, they want to come through. I also think there's this energy of not wanting to rush this. That's good. But also, you need to be honest about the reasons why that is. What has stopped you from wanting to rush this? Obviously, you shouldn't want to rush love anyway. You know, love, you should allow it to bloom like a flower, like a rose. Queen of Pentacles, earth signs, right? And enjoy the process that you get to witness that blossoming. But clearly, there's a reason someone's holding back, and it's to do with the pain that they're still clearing through Temperance. They're still finding that. I think they're still healing their heart, honestly. So they can truly be honest about the love that's deeply within their heart. Okay, oh my God, the Empress. So the Empress was coming through strongly before, you know, that divine feminine energy, that intuitive flow, that staying grounded, connecting to all that is the mother. Um, I think that it's taken a while for someone to truly see this clearly. They were stuck in their heartbreak for a long time, whoever this is. Maybe that's why it's been a while, you know, and I'm looking at this innovation energy with this Fool. This is time to do things differently. Rebelling against the system. It's taken them a while to understand their truth. Ace of Swords, which is why that message keeps coming through about being mindful of who they're actually listening to. Because their truth isn't the same as society's truth. Okay, it's taken them a while to understand who this is. But I also feel like with this divine feminine energy, you've really been honouring your path. I feel like I think there's something about your healing. You've been doing things in unorthodox ways, but there is still this energy of, you know, that Three of Swords, that grief. I think that's something that needs to be spoken about. Some kind of hurt happened here. Yeah, Death card. For this Ten of Cups to come through, there's still something that hasn't experienced a complete transformation here, which means, again, unspoken, which is why this mental activity is so strong, because there's so much that needs to be spoken. I think that you've experienced multiple internal deaths, ego deaths, yes, but also just, I think, versions of you. You've cycled through versions of you, you know, and at the same time, I feel like there's still so much more to go in a way that's really, you know, with this Ten of Cups, that's beautiful. You know what you want, but I also think you're happy ever after. The picture of that has changed along the way. It's kind of been fluid. Certainly not who you were when you both met. And that's why you're going to need to do things differently as well. That's why the Gemini, the Lover's energy was coming through, because actually you are going to need to re-find that alignment with each other. It takes intention. Yeah, Three of Pentacles, coming together and saying we want to do this together. So how can we do this together? Honesty, transparency, not fighting. This Five of Swords, not arguing, causing conflict. And if that tension comes up, you're going to have to be honest about it. Otherwise you can't move past it, and you're just going to forever be stuck in this like Three of Swords energy. You're not here to be stuck there. You're here to like truly close that out. That cycles energy, it's a really big part of your path here. And actually it's massively showing to you where that imbalance is within. Really, really important. You two are each other's biggest teachers. I can see it. It's like you see that you want to create something beautiful, and it's going to take time and intention and trust. Okay, loyalties. I'm hearing loyalty, dependability as well. So this isn't about codependency. I think that there's been codependency that you've had to heal through in your individual cycles. Okay, Magician. Yeah. Oh, okay. Magician. That is Mercury energy as well. So Gemini as well. Yeah, that internal balance, but also I feel like there's this energy of you have the tools, like Divine is saying you have the tools within you to move away from this energy of separation and feeling like you're lonely. That's been a big healing thing for somebody, loneliness, something about that, because they've had to learn their power within, which is why they need to stop outsourcing it and trying to finance that side of them. It's time to say, oh yeah, I am the magician. I am the creatix. I am magnetizing to my divine alignment, the Lovers, right? Divine alignment. Because your heart space is opened here in a way that I can't even explain it. I can see it. Your heart chakra awakening has been, wow, truly has been catalytic. Okay. Seven of Wands. Yeah, it's not come easy, Hermit. You've really been in solo mode, actually. I think both of you, and I don't think either of you realize this. Been really working on those inner demons is what I've heard. But I also think there's been resistance. There's been resistance, truly. Page of Pentacles. And that's what, again, I think that this keeps showing at the bottom. It's a Five of Pentacles. It's really about someone has some kind of, I'm hearing rejection and abandonment, but also because of what happened in this connection in the past and not wanting to repeat it. That's why it's going to require small actions by small actions to overcome this together, to move to your next level. This can be really powerful. You've got to be intentional. Yeah, the Tower, Ten of Cups again. You know, this isn't about, you experience a total overhauls within you, and it does, like how causes create this huge destruction outside of you too. But that doesn't mean that you stop being yourself. It doesn't mean that you experience huge changes, you're feeling through the fires and everything, but if anything, you become your most authentic self. You know, you become the most truest self. And when you're aligning with your heart space, which is what's happening here, I can see, which is what's helping you align with this beautiful expansion, this abundance, your divine destiny through the wheels of karmic justice, divine justice. There's a huge change for this Ten of Cups to come through. I think that you're both going to be shocked that actually what you truly desire. I think that maybe in the past, both of you weren't seeing what you wanted, what your heart was calling you towards, clearly. There are lots of veils that you have to lift and heal through, the Star. Truly. Again, I think that you've been going through you've been having different kind of healing modalities, is what I'm hearing. So, you know, maybe you're trying different things out. Energy healing, different kind of ceremonies. When you're sitting ceremony and you connect with divine spirit, there's something I'm seeing, like the DNA strands. You've had a lot of internal shifts taking place. The Ace of Pentacles, in order for this new seed to come through, for you to ground it and say, okay, divine is offering this Ace of Pentacles, this new beginning, something that can be grounded. We're going to have to water the seed. After the Tower, it has to be addressed. Whatever the Tower is, whatever the separation is, it always has to be addressed. Okay, with truth, with transparency. That's how you can beautifully move forward. Knight of Swords. The Ten of Cups just keeps wanting to come out. I feel like this is why you have to, that message was coming through, being mindful of 0 to 100, because there's this energy of really wanting to go 0 to 100. But there's going to need to be a lot of communication. I can see it. Because it's Two of Swords energy here. It's like, there's this doubt, and it's all because of this Three of Swords, you know, what happened in the past. But once this is cleared through and you truly gain some momentum, and I think that maybe you're at a distance here as well, something about travel is going to be important. Be mindful of something about being, again, that controlling energy, but also possessive. Like, you know, again, your freedom is going to be really important. That's where you have healthy boundaries with external parties as well. That's really important. I think that's holding someone back. You've learned through your cycles, remember, the destructions that you've experienced. Take those lessons moving forwards. It's going to help you both as you evolve and heal together to do what you're here to do. And when I say heal, like, don't get me wrong, you don't, you know, you mirror a lot to each other, and you're here to be your divine selves, to unfold that divine destiny. But you will also always, as a human being, always be constantly evolving in your healing journey. This is the way it is. A higher event, yet again, higher level commitment, I'm telling you. But also higher level guidance. Once again, this is your divine guidance that comes within, not externally. This is important. This Hierophant keeps coming through. Major Taurus energy, very grounded, very dependable, very, let's put this here into, like, remember I said the divine masculine holds it down into, brings the connection into the 3D physical. It's up to the divine masculine to do that. The Fool, again, to take that leap of faith. Okay, Page of Swords, communication. Could be online communication, but also I think that maybe there has been something destructive to do with online. Someone's already been learning. I think that's where that Twin Flame cards truly came. I think they've truly been understanding and learning about divine connections, high level, as in like God frequency connections. Because like I said, these labels, I think that there's something, you're understanding the deeper essence. Oh my God, the Four of Wands and the Six of Cups. You're understanding the deeper essence of divine union, the connection within you, deep in your soul, not just because of what everything is circulating. You know, some of it is great because it helps you to understand your journey, but this is you and God, you and divine, you and source, you and highest creator, whatever you want to call it. Okay, this Four of Wands is powerful. I don't know why it's come out. Again, 1111 is really important for you guys, this sign. This is grounded, but I think that there's a whole new way of thinking about connection here. It's not the same as what society has been telling somebody, either of you. And the Six of Cups and this wheel, things are being done differently from the past. You've both been reminiscing about this connection. It's not left your mind. Understandably, to invent connection. I don't think divine has allowed this connection to leave your mind. It's not. The signs are there for you both to come back to yourself. This is why you need to learn how to detach from the external, from putting all these expectations and, you know, codependent attachments onto your person. It's like, hold on, what's that showing me within me? If this truly is a divine connection, this beautiful card that came through, truly are twin flames, if you resonate with that, then you know that's eternal. Eternal love. So what is it showing me? What is my purpose here? Because it's bigger than just... I think the signs for both of you, as this is coming through, have been going off the charts. Yeah, I can feel it. That's why there's so much mental activity that's really hard. I've just realised this moon that came out ages ago in the other part, the Knight of Cups was under that. I didn't even realise. So that's what I mean by expect the unexpected. This is an offer coming through and you're not going to see it. With that moon, it's going to be in the shadows. Maybe it's at night time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something about the moon cycle that's really important here. But something is being cooked up, is what I'm hearing. Again, not being led by illusion and fantasy. It's super important. This is actually really powerful. Oh my God, the first card that's come out, everything I've been saying from the beginning. You are your inner guidance system. You are the lighthouse. That's a big, big lesson for you, both of you, on your journey here. This particular journey that you're both on, that divine journey. You've had to learn that you are the guidance system. You are that, the frequency holders. Keepers, number 7. You're the safe passage, your illumination, you're on the right direction. You're securing it down, you're plotting a course, you're gaining more clarity and learning how to navigate the obstacles very differently. Remember all of these cycles that you've both been going through it's been way over a year. I can feel it, right? There's a reason, because you need to come back to your truth, your inner divine truth, okay? Your safe passage, once again, comes from your connection to divine, so go within. Constant message here. And this is where you're going to be able to have the honest conversations, the honest communication that wants to come through. Not with that idealistic mind that was coming through, not those little rose-tinted glasses. Yeah. Someone clearly wants this to go well when they come through. Seeds. They want to plant this seed, that Ace of Pentacles, remember, and water it. Small beginnings, big possibilities. They see this, the tracks. You're finally both now at a stage where you're on the right track. There's no, you know how I said before, there was a lot of resistance. I think that you're both seeing the track forward. However, it's not perfect, if you want to call it that. There are still some things that come through. Maybe you even question, this keeps coming through for a reason, that I keep talking about the labels. Maybe you're questioning that, what connection you're on or whatever. It's time to stay focused. You're on track. You're on track, number 3. Steady, forward movement. There is forward movement here. I can feel it. And it's going to be up to both of you how it goes, okay? Direct route. One way, going the distance. Wow. You're focused. You know, I usually say when the divine masculine is focused, they're focused. They know how to take that action. They're making the decision. Oh my God, just as I said that, again, the seeds. Yes, big yes energy. Just his sun card, and that is the divine masculine card as well. And that's big yes. Vigor, success, vitality, number 31. Energy, power, climax, fulfilled, pride. Radiant, success, divine masculine, daytime, victory, happy, warmth. That's interesting, because I said that maybe this are coming at night time, but I think this is where they're used to be a bit more like hidden with their emotions, especially the moon and the Knight of Cups, you know, hiding their emotions. It's time for it to come to the surface. Again, this is about love bombing. This is about saying that this is my truth, this is who I am. Big yes energies. It's powerful. Lots of fire, lots of passion. I think that there's a new drive to want to move in this direction as well, you know. Oh my God, I said lots of passion. Look at the fireworks. Oh my God, wow. 30, passion, chemistry, lust, desire, kiss, celebrate, happiness, exhilaration, new year, excitement, explosive hot sex. Right, this is where you're going to need to be mindful, especially with this clover coming out here, that it's not like another quick fling, another quick thing. You're going to need to stay grounded. That's where that the Hierophant keeps coming through to remind you you're going to need to stay grounded in this. Because when you're truly on that twin flame connection, the passion, the intensity, the ignition that you have with each other in that department, like, it's like no other. You don't even realize it's unfolding, but it's happening all within. So be mindful, intentional. There's a lot of light here. You two have a lot of light. I'm just thinking about the tarot. The Empress came through, but yes, we have the Hierophant. So, you know, the grounded Emperor energy, but Magnet, longing, desire. There's a lot of this energy coming through. 32, magnetic. And I did say something about the magnetism. You're magnetizing, right? Attraction, charm, je ne sais quoi, seduction, yearning, field of influence. Be mindful of the field of influence. Gravity. You're gravitating towards each other. You truly are. If you let desire lead, maybe you did in the past, you saw what happened in the past, you're going to need to be mindful. This isn't about repeating the past, it's about doing things different. Look at that, the storm, the tornado. And, you know, maybe this isn't even just sexual energy. Maybe it's genuinely just, you know, the way you communicate. You're going to need to be mindful of how you communicate with each other. Okay. Yeah, the cross. Destiny, fate, sure, but there's been emotional loss. There's been a lot of trials throughout this journey, you know, and it's all been a part of your soul contracts. You know, sorrow. But there is something big about divine guidance that keeps coming through. You're going to need to learn how to connect with divine if you haven't already. You clearly, divine feminine here clearly has, but honouring the signs that are coming through, because like I said from the beginning, they're coming through hot and heavy for a reason. So you're learning how to listen to those, especially when there seems to be a repeated pattern, a repeated cycle that wants to come through, which is where your biggest transformation is coming through now, your opportunity. Once again, you're just giving each other the opportunity as you come closer to each other to clear through that. Yeah. Clouds. Anytime you feel confused, anytime that there's a lack of clarity, you can't see what's happening ahead, check yourself. Because I think this is where somebody tends to fall back onto those energies of the lust and the desire and the passion. Because it's like there's this veil of the intimacy that I was talking about at the beginning. That fear comes through, so it's easier to just cloud it out, right? You need to be mindful. Allow the unfold. I always say the feminine energies come through as well. So this could be divine feminine, you know. You can't see what's ahead and you can't in this connection, even though, you know, you have that vision ahead. You meet your person, you see them as their divine self. You see what you could be together, all that kind of stuff. Sure you do. Absolutely. But again, there's been a long time here and you can't see what's coming next. Like I said, expect the unexpected for a reason. But that doesn't mean your negativity or the past experiences has to cloud the judgment of what's coming through. Clouded vision. Don't do that to yourself. Clarity, okay? Allow the truth to come to you now. It wants to. The expansion, the turning point, it wants to come through. Don't allow the past to hold this back. Yes, it has to be taken accountability for, and yes, you need to have the clarity conversation so it doesn't just become a huge another obstacle that just ends up, you know, growing in the dark in the back, you know what I mean, in that subconscious. So yeah, of course, but allow the space for that without, you know, pouring into that negativity. Yes, somebody does lead with passion here, but again, maybe that's their own protective shield, you know. So maybe you're worried, you're seeing that you're worried, but again, clarity, how is that making you feel? Be honest with each other. Number 26, iceberg. There's more than meets the eye, the unseen, and look deeper. So it's not just what you're seeing on the surface. You know this, if you're on this connection, you know there's way more beneath the surface. Mysterious, subconscious, buried memories, illusion, hidden depths, complex. There is a lot of complexity here, I can feel it, and it needs to be revealed. This has been the obstacle. Maybe someone truly has been so cold because they haven't addressed the truth of their feelings. And also because they reflect to you, your deepest roots, your deepest core. So when they're reflecting to you something and you suddenly feel that codependency coming up or that attachment, you have to be honest with yourself. Where's that coming from deeply within you? Is that still there? That needs to be cleared through, and that's okay. This is your opportunity to do that. The anchor, to find stability, security. Okay, this is enduring, long-lasting, perseverance, okay, stable. I think that there's willpower here. This is where I think it's going to be quite, you're going to leave you a bit speechless, you know, because that's the potential that this has. And also stay grounded. Your root chakra is super important here, okay? What else do you need to be aware of? It's beautiful, collective. Third person, okay. Oh my God. That was a mice that just fell to the floor. So I think you're very stressed. This is where the clouded vision is coming through, because I think that you are still concerned about this, which is why I keep getting that message. The divine masculine specifically needs to be mindful of who they're talking to, but maybe you do as well. There's more than meets the eye here. I think that this is where you're getting the biggest stress. There's some kind of karmic energy that I think that you're still concerned about and you haven't had clarity about. Maybe someone really has been a bit of a maverick in the past, you know. They haven't been grounded. Third person, let's get some clarity. Yeah, look, you're going to be fragile. You're going to be feeling very fragile. One of a kind, handle with care. Vulnerability. This is where I think that you might get that you're somebody who you know, self-protection mode. But this is where you're going to need to know that you have the strength to hold yourself down so you can be transparent, honest, and say, you know what, this is a vulnerable. You don't have to say it like that, whatever words you want to say, but, you know, it makes you feel that kind of way. Vulnerable, fragile, frozen. You get, you know, that fight or flight, and it's like as soon as you see the third person again, maybe you really have betrayal wounds, or maybe this is to do with the past situation that you went through. There was another party involved, okay? But I think that there's information about that hasn't been spoken of. The rider card also specifies, it says nagging, so be mindful. You know, different people handle things in different ways. You're going to have very different communication styles, I can tell that here, but also on how you handle or avoid conflict. Okay, so you're going to need to be mindful that you're not just pressuring someone, you're allowing them this space as well, but whilst also telling them what you need. You know, you need that truth, you need that transparency, that reassurance, that you are safe with them. And if they can't give you that, then I don't know, that's answer enough, isn't it, really? But it's just about allowing yourselves to hold space for each other. I do think the throat chakra is coming through a lot, so there's going to be conversations had here for sure. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. This is it. Overflowing abundance. So that's coming through big, especially with that Jupiter energy. So maybe this is going to release some kind of abundance cycle within you as well. That's beautiful. And maybe that's a thing that you're mirroring with each other. Waterfall. Emotional release, letting it go. I think you're going to finally be able to release once you have the right conversations and you allow someone the space and time. And you need to understand you both need to be handled with the care. You both do. You both, that fragility, the connection is powerful, right? So you're going to have that energy. Both of you are going to feel like you can finally breathe, you can release, let it go. You know, tears of joy. Oh my God, tears of joy. Gosh, I feel like you need that. The tree, your connection with source, divine, cosmos, God, whoever, goddess, right? Vitality, health, lineage, fertility as well, it says, so could be important. Let's see what else wants to come through for this beautiful guidance. Powerful connection. Feminine energy again. So that's 2 feminine energies. So maybe there truly is another winding road. Winding road. Patience. There's been a lot of patience here. That's why that time keeps, for someone to really connect to their inner feminine energy, to recognize their heart space, their true joy, their bliss, their love, their warmth, their openness, their desires. There's been a lot of patience. There's been a lot of self-discovery, especially for this feminine energy, divine feminine energy. I think you've become, you know, that Empress, you've truly become someone who you've always admired, but I don't know if you reflected on that to realize the masculine energies come out. Okay, let's get another one, because I do feel like with these 2 coming out, I don't know if this is to do with that third party or whether it's to do with, see the island, this is a big block in the middle. So maybe there was a third party that was keeping a block, keeping that winding road. I think someone's had to deal with a lot with that external party. That's kept them away in this isolation mode, in this separation. This feeling, again, isolated, the island. Foreign affairs could be important, solo, isolated, standoffish, separation, estranged, lonely, independent, refuge, protected, mindful of hyper-independence. You're both going to need to be quite flexible, you know, with each other's healing and evolution journey, because I just think that you're quite different, but this is where you're going to be given the opportunity to find that alignment, because if you're truly deeply connected, you're literally like the same person, you know what I mean? Deeply within your core. So really honoring the process of everything that has taught you to be who you are and become. Doorbell. Be also mindful of external parties, again, that are coming through, especially at this time. The closer you get, the more things are going to come through to try to keep you apart. And sometimes that really is a mindset being re-validated. That was just of a past thing that you've been trying to clear through. Childhood, oh my God. Just, as I said, the child. So that's important. The childhood memories is coming through. So childhood trauma, so that sacral chakra as well has been important. That's coming through a lot, actually, that energy. So maybe there was an external party to do with the child that you need to, but with this guy, something ended, a reckoning, something that someone was not expecting. So maybe they've had to liberate themselves from this situation. But definitely the inner child has some scars. Okay. I think you're going to have to learn about each other's inner child. Heart and mind, emotional intelligence, wisdom, okay? Compassionate wisdom, mindfulness, holistic insight. Really balancing that emotion and the intellect. So that's really important here. Number 31, authentic decision making, wholeness, integration, not rushing into thinking a certain thing about what's happening. Being, you know, sometimes when you come into connection with others, whoever it is, you have to honor their wholeness. Like, they're not just who you're seeing in front of them, they're the little child within them. They're the teenager who went through whatever, you know, they're that person who has all these accumulated experiences. to make them who they are today standing in front of you. And this could be one of your biggest blocks as well, not allowing each other that emotional communication, written, not allowing yourselves to see each other from the inside, getting triggered. That's where you're going to have to check yourself, because someone's had to learn some lessons, and it's not, I think it's been through third parties. In order to get to this space where they're ready for this, that's a big part of your journey. The moon, the psyche, divine feminine energy is coming through so hot here, so hot. Could be artistic, that sensuality, but this is again that subconscious, that psyche. Where's your inner child suddenly trying to get the reins from a wounded space, trying to protect you? They don't need to anymore. You get to say, no, I get to take those reins now. I can handle this. You know, which also means allowing yourself to be vulnerable. So you've had to learn safety within, just as I said that, the lily. Oh, again, masculine again. The lily, number 30. Established, ambition, experience, sexuality, achievement, longevity, mature, career, virtue, development, retired. I just said early retirement as well. Crossroads. Ooh, this is going to determine a lot then. So you're going to have some decisions to make here, especially as I was talking about the divine feminine just there, number 22. Crossroads, multiple choices. There's so many different ways this could go. Okay, journey, again, traveling, could be at distance, weighing the options, deciding, free will, opportunity, independent, road trip. You do have free will. You do. That's what determines the path of destiny that you are unfolding before you. Let's get another one just to confirm that crossroads. I think that's that energy of, are you ready to be that established person, or are you going to allow the inner child to lead again? Just some clarity for this crossroads for you. Going places, again, travel, adventure, ships, sea, overseas, 3/10, October. We are in October. Enterprise, movement. There could be something to be the abundance that is truly going to come through at the same time, okay? Adventure. That was a very first message. I feel that adventurous spirit. Maybe you haven't had that adventure and you have that spirit within you, and now it's going to be like, okay, there's going to be this suddenly everything unexpected, all this, lots going on, you know, in the mind and outside. Vacation, trip, vehicle, could be important. Swift movement. Wow, powerful. Let's get just a few more cards just to get some clarity for you and how to handle this moving forwards. Ah, beautiful. Wine, developing like fine wine, transforming over time. Okay, that's beautiful. Ripening, aging well, developing over time, the good stuff, finesse, family legacy, alchemy, flavor. Bringing that flavor back. And not just allowing yourself to be stuck in that emotion that weighs you down. You know, yeah, there was a false start in the past, but you're going to get some enlightenment on why that was. You're going to get some answers. There's going to be some revelations here. Poor timing. Oh my God. The clock, just as I said that. That's perfect timing. So it had to happen this way, because actually all along you might have seen like poor timing. It was perfect timing. And now as this is coming through, it's also perfect timing. Standing the test of time, past, present and future, is all coming into, you're going to begin to see things in a way that you're connecting the dots suddenly. Then there was empty for so long. You had to give yourself closure or whatever, or just unanswered questions as you move forward. That's your strength, that's your power. Connecting to that. You are divine feminine. Oh my God, you're like incredible. Come on, tap into that magnetism, that energy within you. Not because of your ego, but because you have that beautiful soul, that heart that you're here to like guide, be that lighthouse for everyone, everything around you for a reason, right? It happens when you don't even realize it's happening. Come on. Incremental, longevity, unstoppable, a culmination. Oh my God. Wow. So there was that destruction in the past. It happened all for a reason. It's all divinely orchestrated. And when you have the clarity conversations, what was hidden is going to be revealed. Hidden things. Books could be important. Someone could be an author. 26 and 10 again, October. Mystery, philosophy, intellectual knowledge, education, secrets, the unknown, manuscripts, author, hidden things. Yeah, time for the reveal. That just kind of fell out. External parties, gossip, birds on a wire, 17. News traveling fast, chatterbox, manipulative and untrustworthy secrets, talking behind your back. That's where that secret energy keeps coming through. You're someone exceptional. Firefly, magical. Soul spark, light codes, chemistry, illumination, self-discovery, fire, yet again. Creative spark. So this is who you need to become. You need to not become, that's who you've always been, but to see that within you. yeah, in the past, there was way too much of this energy going on, way too much jealousy. Whoever someone spoke to, that I don't think they realised they were speaking to others who were jealous. There has been silent treatment here, and it has felt toxic, because it does, when you experience that kind of destruction, when you separate, truly when you're on that divine path, but look at this. Celtic knot, unconditional love, love of lifetimes, enduring love, divine union, eternal love, infinity, connected, unconditional love. But this needs to be understood. I think that other people saw that you're someone exceptional. They saw what was here, the power of this connection, and it kind of got in the way. To get some more clarity for you moving forward. Yeah, that's been cleared. Oh my god, perfect. Number 11, the broom. That's what's being cleared. It's finally time to clear, to purge, to remove the unwanted stuff, the clean sweep, deleting, total makeover, restoring harmony, clean up, purging. Unavoidable. This had to happen. It was all part of the cycle. Again, the rider at the bottom of the deck. I'm just going to quickly get some animal cards. I'm going to get animal card for the divine masculine. What's divine masculine currently coming through as? Oh, the raccoon. Okay, problem solver, could be an entrepreneur. Curious, asking questions. They want to. I think that there's a lot unanswered, and they want answers. They finally get into that space. Mischievous, resourceful, scavenger, creative, clever, asking questions. So they need to be honest about some things here, about how they're trying to be finding out information. Okay, divine feminine. Oh my god, wow, breaking free, the stallion, powerful energy. This is your sexual energy that you're going to need to really harness there. Number 4, tame versus wild, understanding your strong emotions. This is what I meant, but it's not just the sexual energy. There's some kind of ignition within you that gets ignited, that passion. This is where you're going to have to learn how to, there's desire, there's beauty in that, there's passion, but harness it, channel it correctly, especially when you're dealing with this, because you two are each other's biggest trigger, but you also get to be each other's biggest, beautiful mirrors to your absolute light within. And when you come together, you are powerhouse, unstoppable. Truly. You're going to need to begin to see that you cannot be with. Like, when you get to that point with that 3 of Pentacles, where you work together, you're a team, you're a partnership. Powerful. That's where you need to channel this energy into together when you get to that space. Have the right conversations. Freedom. Your freedom's important. That's been coming through a lot. Driving first, unbridled, unleashing the inner beast. Connection. Maybe you have been celibate. And that energy's like, whoa. Connection. Be mindful. You want this to go in the right direction. Okay. And also, you're going to have to learn how to trust here, I can tell. Oh, okay. So the elephant, I always see that as a family as well. Protector, the Ganesh, protecting you from obstacles. So yeah, removing obstacles. Telepathy, you could be telepathically connecting. Lucid dreams, so you could be seeing each other in dreams a lot, which can happen up to the lead up to coming together. Maybe that's happened before and you haven't got together because something got in the way. Now it's time to be mindful, being gentle with each other. I don't think anyone's been gentle with you the way you two are with each other. It's beautiful. Keep your wits about you. Be mindful of what's happening outside of you as well that wants to get in. Powerful, wise, trust. Easily removing obstacles. When you get together, supportive, you support each other, you want each other's dreams to come true because you're very aligned in that. Once you get into that energy where you truly are trusting each other and supporting each other, I think that nothing gets past either of you. Powerful. My god. Giving your relationship a chance, working on this partnership together, moving forwards for your connection. Thank you. Honeymoon. Whoa. Spending the bliss of holiday time together. So truly, we did mention the next few months. So truly, around like the Christmas, New Year time could be very important. That maybe you're going to have that coming together energies, but be mindful. I'm just going to keep saying it, because if you want this to work, stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith is important for both of you. So don't let this mice energy. Sometimes, it's just trying to show you where you're still holding yourself back from what you truly desire. You know what you deserve. So if you're going to get that stressed you out, it means that you're still thinking that, that's what you deserve. No, it's not. So rise above it. You deserve better than that, so that's fine. Divine will handle what needs to be handled. You've both been clearing out a lot of cycles. You were each other's triggers to that. Trust. Okay. Chemistry, yeah, there's a lot. Strong magnetic connection. Of course there is. Truly on that twin flame journey. Okay, wow. Do you need to know moving forwards? I knew this was going to be a long reading. free yourself from codependency, free yourself from attachment. This is what's going to happen. You're going to allow yourself to recognize where you're still holding on to that and to release it. There could be addictions, unhealthy obsessions, maybe. Free yourself. And even just the mind space, what you're telling yourself. That was coming through a lot, okay? Especially when it comes to these third-party external energies. True love. That's my divine card, true love. Religious factors. So there is something about your cultural differences. That's interesting. Finding alignment with that. But I think that this is just a really spiritual connection as well. And you both really begin to understand that. You know, freeing yourself from where the 3D has tried to make you believe in other constructs, you know, that just don't align. This is your truth. Finding that light-hearted energy again. You're going to be finding that again. Once you create the right foundation of trust. I always say this, right? Transparency, releasing the ex. I also honestly think this is clearing the energies of what you think has been going on with your person. Big. Yes, okay, maybe it has been happening, okay, but not allowing that to stop you from moving forward, because that would just be a big block. Oh my God, wedding. Wow. Okay. Let's get some cards here quickly, moving forwards. I did say high level commitments coming through a lot, so, but again, you're going to have to allow yourself the divine unfold, surrender to the process, the divine timing. Show the world the real you. That is Aquarius energy. So again, your authenticity is big here. Balancing spirituality and practicality, Pisces. That's interesting because I kept talking about the 3D and the spiritual and finding the right balance. So you're really going to have the right conversations. Adjustments are required to make the adjustments to find this balance, to truly ground this down, especially with all the energy that's flying around here. Gosh, this is so powerful. Oh my God. Giselle said that, expect powerful change, confirmation. Anything else moving forwards? Okay, a fiery climax approaches. Don't let the past hold you back. One more. Oh, good. Luck is on your side. Sagittarius energy. Communication is key. So that's honestly, that throat chakra connected to the sacral, remember. So cleansing, clearing, honoring yourselves within, as within, so without. Okay, so inner union is going to really determine the stability. So this really is going to be about getting on the same page about a lot of things, okay, especially as these next few months unfold, okay. So be intentional, be honest as well when triggers come up with yourself, with each other, so they can clearly get through this and not just allow the veils to come back, you know. They're going to come through to see whether or not you're ready to move forwards now, and you've got it within you, okay. Divine justice is involved. Super quickly, just going to get last few tarot messages for you moving forwards. Yeah, judgment, a rebirth, an awakening. And I think it's going to ignite another awakening, so you're going to need to take your time, but there is going to be, you're going to need to put the effort in to move forwards. The right conversations, right? Yeah, strength. King of Wands at the bottom of the deck, okay? So a lot of fire energy again. So there's going to be that energy. 2 of Cups, of not allowing the temptation, the pulls on the energy to prevent someone from addressing the awakening that they're now experiencing when it comes to this connection. They might have had some kind of, I'm hearing like spirit baby energy around them as well, okay? This is a powerful time to, something to do with a connection. There he is. That's what I wanted to see. The Emperor. 10 of Swords. Someone's coming out of a really, really dark cycle. And I think that they've allowed them to sustain it for a while with this Temperance card. There's balance. They're finding balance within. And now it's time to find the alchemy in this connection. No longer deny it and avoid it. You're going to find out that this is where someone still struggles. You know, they still struggle. They're finding their inner divine masculine, that courage, stepping into that embodiment where it's just like, you know, it's go, you know, you're in this energy. This is going to be the beginning of them truly honoring that energy that's within them. Once they know they can do this, as they come through with these unexpected conversations and stuff, it's really going to help them to step up. But once again, when you come together as divine counterparts, you come together as your divine selves. You've been healing through your karmic energies. You do that individually, right? So this is like a huge turning point, the cycle that's about to be cleared through now. And it's going to help you both unfold your path of expansion and abundance moving forward. Huge, huge cycle you're closing out together for a new one to begin. You've got the Emperor and the Empress on the table. You've got the 4 of Wands. You've got the Lovers. The Ace of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups. You know, it's the potential is here. But it comes with you both honouring the closing out of what needs to be addressed, which means also that was Queen of Pentacles, Justice and the Wheel. So yeah, that needs to be, again, aligning your actions with words, both of you. The Lovers, oh my God, and the Six of Cups. So you're both literally reminiscing on this. It's time to make that decision to no longer live in the past. Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, and not be led by impulse and lust, because your connection is powerful. There's a lot of fire here, a lot of passion, but it's like time to channel that through, like I say, from the heart space now, from your true emotions, transparency. This is, yeah, it's powerful. You've got this, okay? Sending love.